Hello everyone, I'm here today with my April wrap-up, so all of the books that I read in the month of April. Normally I would also include which books I reviewed, but unfortunately I didn't have the opportunity to do any reviews last month. I was just, oh my gosh, all of the assignments all at once. It was a little bit stressful. So I ended up reading a total of 5 books in April. 2 of those were audiobooks. So to start things off, we have a book that I gave 3.5 out of 5 stars, and that is A Room of One's Own by Virginia Woolf. This was in my uni readings, as you can tell by all of the notes. All of the post-it notes. So this is an essay all about women writers. I really liked how, even though this is an essay, it has some elements of fiction as well. In order to get her point across, she creates a narrator in which the story is told, which I thought was quite interesting and definitely made it a little easier to read. Even still, the writing was a little bit dense at times, and I came across some really long paragraphs, which I found myself skimming over or even skipping just because I was getting totally lost in the words and not taking any of it in. So overall, I did quite enjoy this, but as a feminist text, it's not totally inclusive to all females. It mainly focuses on the experience of white upper class women and not any other classes or races. But even still, there's a lot of quotable things in here. Next, I have a book which I've rated 3.75 stars. Getting real picky here, but that is Summer Skin by Kirsty Eager. So this is a book about revenge where Jess and some of the girls from her college who take revenge on the guys at an all-boys college who shamed Jess's best friend. This book was super funny, sexy at times. Jess was very feminist, which was awesome. I also sticky noted some really wonderful quotes from her in here. The reason why I didn't give this any more stars is, for one, I really liked the friends, but I kind of wish we saw a little more of them. And two, at some points the writing was a little bit too ambiguous. Ambiguity can be quite effective in writing, but in some cases I read a passage and came out of it not quite knowing what had happened, and I'd reread it again and again and kind of guess what happened. I still wasn't really able to piece together everything that went on. I wasn't really able to piece together everything that had happened in the scene, which at some points left me a little bit confused and took me out of the story because I had to go back and reread a few times. But apart from that, I really enjoyed this. I really do recommend it, and it was just such a fun read. I was able to read it so quickly. Next, with 4 stars, I have The Rest of Us Just Live Here by Patrick Ness. This is the first book that was sent out in the YA Chronicles box, and I do have an audiobook of it, so I decided to listen to it. I think this was done really well. It basically follows the other characters, not the heroes of a story, not the chosen ones, but everyone else who isn't really involved in the main drama and conflict that's happening. But they do still see some of it and are affected by it. What I found really funny though is the beginning of each chapter. For example, it's like chapter the 9th, in which blah 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 does this. So you still get a brief overview of the chosen one's story, but the way in which it's explained and the fact that the characters have such unique names, it's just everything's really exaggerated and kind of making fun of the chosen one trope. So it was quite amusing. So I really enjoyed this. I really like the characters. We get quite a nice diverse set of characters as well, with our main character who has OCD and his sister who had an eating disorder as well. So yeah, I just really enjoyed this one. With 4.5 out of 5 stars, we have Binge by Tyler Oakley, another one that I listened to on audiobook. So Tyler was the narrator for the audiobook, which is always wonderful because when you do read a memoir, it's nice to hear it from that person's own mouth because you get to hear it as it was written and intended to be read. In addition to that, he kind of pauses with reading the audiobook and has some little chats as well, which was really nice. I just really enjoyed hearing Tyler's story, and he had so many wonderful messages that he put across in the book as well. So I definitely enjoyed it. If you're a fan of Tyler Oakley, I would recommend reading or listening to the audiobook for this one. And finally, with my wonderful 5-star read, we have The Woman Who Rides Like a Man by Tamora Pierce. A couple of months ago, I finished the 2nd book in this series, and you may remember that I said the ending of the 2nd book is what I thought was originally the ending of the entire series. So even though this is a reread, I went into this 3rd book not knowing what was going to happen at all. Because this is the 3rd book, I'm not going to go into the synopsis of this one, but I will say that I really enjoyed it. I love Alana as a character. She's such a strong and quite selfless character as well. She just wants to help everybody and do what she can, and she just loves finding adventure, and I love her cat, and I love all the other characters. This is the point where I'm starting to hate Prince Jonathan though. If you read this, you'll know why. He acted like a jackass. Definitely recommend this series, one of my favorites of all time. So those are all of the books that I read in the month of April. I hope you guys enjoyed this wrap up. If you've read any of the books that I mentioned, I'd love to know your thoughts about them as well. And what was your favorite book that you read in the month of April? Unsurprisingly, this was mine. So I'm going to wrap up this video now because I've been filming videos back to back and my throat's starting to hurt. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Thanks for watching and I'll see you very soon with my May TBR. Bye!